Now, who's ready for your next comic, huh? We're going to have a great time. You can hear him on the Nosebleeders podcast. He is very funny. Welcome to the stage, Mr. Mike Scroy.
Give it up for Kevin. How about Kevin? Let him hear it. Let him hear it. Oh boy, we got marching bands. We got fire departments here. The marching band puts the fun in fundraiser, am I right? That's what we're.
What's the last name?
Apparently not. Okay. I was waiting for a yeah. We got the fire department here.
Excellent.
This is great. What do you have to do to become a fire department? Do you have to learn all the Village People songs, or is it more rigorous training? Now, who is the captain? Who is it? Captain Pete? What was his name? Was that a lie? So let me ask you, my cousin's a fireman, and he had to do training. What they do is, let me know if they do this. When you walk out of a building, you have to look up, and if you don't, they dump like water on your head. It's like a hazing thing. Do they do that with you guys? Okay, it must be in New York, FDNY. King Kong has to urinate on you, just look up. No, it's just in case you walk out and something falls. I had a whole joke for it, doesn't matter now. You guys don't know. I'll leave the improv to the improv group. That wasn't what I planned today. How are you, everybody over here? Everybody's good? Are you fundraiser folks or no? No, you're just here for the fun, not the race. Did you do the 50-50? What's happening tonight? Yeah, we got one for the 50-50. All right, you guys did the 25-25, I guess. Just, half as lucky. So, all right, we're going to move on here. Some of you are laughing. Some of you are looking at me like, why is Zelensky on stage doing stand-up? Seeing it now, right? Yeah. I've been getting that a lot lately, which is interesting. I don't mind it. I just am a little tired of having to go everywhere and put on a Kevlar vest. Luckily here there's no windows to get shoved out of, so that's a relief tonight. Zelensky used to be a comedian before he was president. A lot of people know that. Zelensky was a comedian before he became president. Now that puts a lot of pressure on me as a comedian, because not only do I have to be funny, I also have to come up with an air defense strategy. Zelensky, one thing I respect about him is, forget the politics, put a lot aside, you might think one way or the other. I like him. You know why? He's the president, and he gets to be a president wearing sweatpants all the time. That's the perk, So, I'm going to tell you what just happened to me recently. Oh, I had to get some wisdom teeth pulled. This was a little rough. I had wisdom teeth pulled, which wasn't fun. The dentist said my wisdom teeth were impacted. You know what else was impacted? My bank account. With insurance, $900 to pull 2 wisdom teeth. The dentist comes out and he goes, I'm going to give you Percocet for the pain. I go, you kidding me? I'm selling this to pay the bill. What are you talking about? Like, listen, I'm 43 years old and I still watch the Three Stooges. I'm not that type of guy. But when you get a $900 dental bill, you realize Walter White was right. Sometimes the laughs come a little. I was just waiting. I got a cat in the tree. You guys free? What's going on? You get a lot of calls for that? Cats in trees? Or is that just like a myth? You get what? It's a myth. I thought you said men. Like this was men in trees? I couldn't. My name is Mike Scroy. It's actually an Italian last name. Has an interesting spelling, my last name. It's spelled S-G-R-O-I. And it translates to handful of Scrabble tiles. My great-grandparents, they won their citizenship with triple letter score. So that's cool. Any Italians here, by the way? Other Italians? You can yell. The feds aren't listening. That's all right. My family, we weren't too stereotypical Italian. The only real stereotype, I think, was my grandparents liked to keep the plastic on their furniture. Yeah, and I remember being a kid and my grandmother was going to throw away the couch. And I was like, Grandma, why are you throwing away the couch? She's like, Michael, it's getting old. I'm like, old? You never opened it. I learned that Italians, we never get credit for a lot of things we've innovated. Like, Italians were the first people to come up with ride sharing. Like, long before Uber, Italians were the first to come up with ride sharing. We just did it a little differently. Instead of putting people in the back seat, we just stuffed them in the trunk. We had a movie not too long ago with three of the greatest Italian-American actors ever, De Niro, Pacino, Pesci. What did they call it? The Irishman. That's not fair. Come on. I live right now, I'm living in a studio apartment. Anyone ever live in a studio apartment before? Go through that? No? If you want to know what that's like, imagine having a walk-in closet without the rest of the house. I remember the real estate agent was really trying to sell me on the place. She's like, look, Mike, I get it. I know it's small, but I think you'll like it. In fact, an actor used to live here. I was like, who, Baby Yoda? She's like, all right, let me at least give you the tour. All right, now how do you give a tour of a studio apartment? All right, Mike, close your eyes. Open them. That's a tour. That's all I can afford, you know? Like, I want to be rich so I can afford the finer things in life, like another room. Like, if I was on the game show and they said, you can win a trip to Paris or a new car, I'd be like, I'll take a hallway. But like I said, I don't have a lot of money, I can't afford a lot, I don't own a lot of stuff, it's just me in this little apartment, and I actually had a burglar break into my apartment. He felt so bad for me, he started putting things in my apartment from the last place he robbed. Here, Mike, take this lamp, you need it more than I do. They took the guy to jail, I'm like, that's no punishment, give him my apartment, I'll go to jail. I want the free room and board, the roommate, the spooning, whatever. Anything at this point. None of the appliances work in this apartment. I have a toaster with two settings, nothing and cremation. I get really depressed in this apartment. It makes me feel terrible. This is what happened. The other day I was sitting on my toilet because that's my couch. And a friend of mine calls me up. He wanted to cheer me up. He's like, look, Mike, this is what you got to do. You got to get up every day. You got to go to that window and say, I'm going to make it. I'm like, I can't do that. He's like, no, you have to. I'm like, I can't. I don't have a window. He's like, all right, let's do something fun. Let's go do one of those escape rooms. I was like, what's an escape room? He's like, it's when you're trapped in a room and you have to get out. I'm like, I live in an escape room. What's the matter with you? He's like, I don't think you understand. It's fun. You get to do puzzles. I'm like, oh, you want to do a puzzle? Just come to my place. We'll figure out how to get out of my lease, okay? All right, thank you very much. I'm Mike Schwartz. Thanks for hanging out.